Some stories become legends, others become forgotten, not because they weren't important, but because history often remembers the man wearing the crown and forgets the man who made sure the crown survived. Tonight, we're opening one such file, a story buried beneath nearly 4 centuries of dust. A story about loyalty, courage, and a promise. But before we read another word, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you're standing inside a narrow mountain pass. Steep cliffs surround you. There is nowhere to run. Behind you, the future of an entire kingdom. Ahead of you, an army stretching farther than you can see. Nearly 10,000 soldiers. You have barely 300. No reinforcements. No escape. Only one command. Don't let them pass. Would you stay? Or would you run? Because one man didn't. The Archivist files case file #005. The man who held back 10,000 soldiers. When people speak of great military victories, they usually remember the generals, the kings, the conquerors. But sometimes, history changes because someone agrees to fight a battle they know they cannot win. Tonight's file isn't about victory. It's about time, buying time, with blood, and to understand why, we must travel back to Western India, the year 1660. Its land was divided among powerful kingdoms and empires. Some ruled through fear, some through wealth, others through overwhelming military power. But in the Western mountains, a new idea was beginning to grow. Not an empire built on conquest, but a kingdom determined to govern itself. At the center of that dream stood a young leader. His name, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. To his followers, he represented hope. To his enemies, he represented rebellion. Every fort he captured, every battle he survived, made one thing clear. This was no ordinary ruler, and powerful men wanted him stopped forever. One of those men was Siddhi Johar, a seasoned commander leading an enormous army. His mission was simple: surround the fort, cut off every escape, wait. No army can fight forever without food. No king can outrun hunger. The siege weeks became months. Rain battered the fortress walls. Food stores shrank. Water had to be rationed inside. Soldiers waited. Families prayed. Outside, thousands of enemy soldiers watched patiently because they believed time was fighting on their side. Every sunrise made Shivaji weaker. Every sunset brought surrender closer. The enemy didn't need to attack. The mountain itself had become a prison. But inside that fortress, one man was already planning something impossible. Not a battle, not a surrender, an escape. The impossible plan. Imagine being surrounded. Thousands of enemy soldiers. Every road blocked. Every exit watched. One mistake, and everything you've built dies with you. Most kings would negotiate, others would prepare for one final battle. Shivaji chose neither. Instead, he decided to vanish, right through the middle of the army hunting him. It sounded insane, almost impossible. But impossible was becoming a habit. There was only one destination, a distant mountain fortress, Vishalgad. If he reached it, the dream survived. If he failed, The dream ended. The plan depended on darkness, rain, silence, and one extraordinary act of sacrifice. A sacrifice history almost forgot. The storm had finally arrived. Lightning tore across the night sky. Inside Penhala Fort, a small group of riders prepared their horses. No trumpets, no farewell, only whispered prayers. Within the next few hours, one man would willingly walk towards certain death, so another could carry the future of a kingdom. But before that could happen, someone else would first have to pretend to be the king. Every prison has one weakness. It assumes its prisoner has given up. The army outside Penhala believed exactly that. Months had passed. The food was nearly gone. The fortress was exhausted. Victory felt inevitable, and that confidence would become their greatest mistake. Inside the fort, there were no speeches, no celebrations, no heroic declarations, only whispers. Every man chosen for the mission understood one thing. If they were discovered, they would not see another sunrise. The rain fell harder. The moon disappeared behind thick monsoon clouds. Perfect. Nature itself had become their ally. The gates opened, not with a roar, but with silence. One by one, the riders disappeared into the darkness. Among them rode Shivaji, a king, escaping his own kingdom, but unknown to the riders. Someone else was preparing to die, not with a sword, not in battle, but by wearing another man's face. The man who became a king, his face, uncannily similar, not identical, but close enough. His name was Shiva Kashid. He wasn't a famous commander. He wasn't a nobleman. He wasn't born into greatness. He was a barber, an ordinary man, until history asked him to do something extraordinary. The plan was simple. If the enemy believed Shivaji had been captured, the real Shivaji would gain precious time. But there was one problem. The man pretending to be the king would almost certainly never return. Imagine someone asking you, "Will you die so someone else can live?" Not your brother, not your son, not even your friend, a leader, a dream, a future. Would you say yes? Shiva Kashid did. Without hesitation, he rode deliberately toward the enemy, not away from them, toward them. Before long, enemy scouts spotted him. They surrounded the rider, swords drawn, torches raised. Their hearts raced. Had they really captured the man they had been hunting for months? They dragged him before City Johor's officers. The camp erupted with celebration. Messengers ran in every direction. Drums echoed through the valley. The impossible had happened. Shivaji had been caught, or so they believed. For a few precious hours, the entire enemy army celebrated, while the real king rode farther into the mountains. But lies never stay buried for long. The truth unravels. Something felt wrong. The prisoner's answers, his mannerisms, the smallest details. The deception began to crack. One question led to another, then another, until finally, the truth exploded through the camp. The prisoner was not Shivaji. Silence. Then rage. Pure rage. The celebration ended instantly. Orders echoed across the camp. Horsemen, after them. Don't let them reach Vishalgad. Thousands of soldiers mounted their horses. The mountains thundered beneath them. The hunt had begun. Behind them, Shiva accepted his fate. He had known from the very beginning that this journey ended only one way. His sacrifice had purchased something more valuable than life, time. Exactly what Shivaji needed. The chase. Rain lashed against the riders. The mountain paths had become rivers of mud. Horses slipped. Men stumbled. Every minute, the gap grew smaller. The pursuing army had one advantage: numbers. Thousands of fresh soldiers, fresh horses, relentless determination. Shivaji had another advantage. He knew these mountains, every hidden trail, every narrow pass, every dangerous shortcut. But even the mountains could not keep the enemy behind forever. Scouts returned with terrible news. They are gaining. The riders looked behind them, far across the valleys. Hundreds of torches, then thousands, like a river of fire, moving closer. Every minute, the race had changed. It was no longer about reaching Vishalgad. It was about surviving long enough to reach it. The mountain past the first light of dawn revealed something unexpected ahead. The mountains narrowed. Steep cliffs rose on both sides. The road became so narrow, only a few men could pass at once. The riders slowed. Everyone stared. No one spoke, because every experienced soldier understood. This place could stop an army, but only if someone stayed behind. No one volunteered. Not at first, not because they lacked courage, because they understood exactly what it meant. Whoever remained would never leave that mountain alive. Then, a single voice broke the silence. "I will stay." The men turned. Standing quietly among them was a commander history almost forgot. His name, Baji Prabhu Deshpande. Shivaji looked directly into Baji's eyes. Neither man spoke. They didn't need to. Some conversations don't require words. Baji already knew the mission. Hold the pass until the cannons of Vishalgad announced the king's safe arrival. Not for 1 hour, not for 2, as long as it takes, even if it costs. Everything, he places it gently across the desk. History tells us how kingdoms are built. The next page tells us what they cost. The last stand. There are moments in history when two people understand that they are looking at each other. For the last time, this was one of those moments. Shivaji looked toward the narrow mountain pass, then toward Baji Prabhu. No king wants to ask a loyal friend to stay behind, because both men already knew what those words truly meant: stay and die. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then Shivaji finally broke the silence. "My friend, if I live, history will remember this day." Baji smiled. Not proudly, not fearfully, simply, calmly. "If you live, that is enough." Sometimes, respect says more than words ever could. Shivaji mounted his horse. One final glance, then disappeared into the mountains. Baji watched until he could no longer see him. Only then did he turn around. Now, he faced the army. Behind him, the future. Ahead of him, 10,000 reasons to surrender. He chose neither. He chose to fight. 300 against 10,000. The mountain pass narrows between towering cliffs. Mist clings to the rocks. Baji walks slowly to the center. His men gather beside him. Barely 300. Some are young. Some are veterans. Every one of them knows they are not coming home. No one asks, What are our chances? Because everyone already knows the answer. Instead, Badji asks only one question. Who stands with me? One by one, swords leave their scabbards. No speeches. No hesitation. Only steel. The mountain itself seems to hold its breath. Far away, the enemy finally appears. Thousands upon thousands. A river of armor, banners, war drums, war cries. Enough men to swallow the mountain. One soldier beside Badji whispers, "We cannot stop them." Badji answers, "We don't have to. We only have to stop them, today." The enemy commander laughs. 300 men against an entire army. This will be over. Within minutes, the order is given, charge. The mountains explode with sound. Steel crashes against steel. Arrows tear through the air. The first attackers rush into the narrow pass. But something unexpected happens. The army cannot use its numbers. The pass is too narrow. Only a handful of soldiers can fight at once. Exactly what Badji had hoped for. The first enemy falls. Then another. Then another. The narrow path becomes blocked by bodies. The second wave struggles to move forward. The third wave pushes from behind. Chaos. For the first time, the enemy realizes this will not be easy. Every minute they remain trapped here. Shivaji rode farther away. The battle wasn't being measured in victories. It was being measured in time. The sun climbs higher. Rain returns. Mud turns red. Broken shields. Broken spears. Broken men again. The enemy attacks again. They are pushed back again. More soldiers arrive. Hours pass, but Badji never leaves the front. Every attack, he answers personally. His sword becomes stained. His shield splintered. His breathing heavier then. The first wound, a deep cut across his shoulder. He stumbles, only for a moment, then stands again. Another attack, another wound. Blood runs down his arm, still. He fights. One of his commanders pleads, "You are wounded." Badji doesn't even turn around. If I step back, they move forward. So I will not step back. The breaking point afternoon. The Marathas are exhausted. Many have fallen. The enemy still has thousands remaining. Every surviving defender is bleeding. Some can barely lift their swords. The enemy commander smiles now. Victory finally seems close. One more charge, and the pass will fall. Badji looks around. The men beside him are barely standing, yet none of them leaves, because every one of them knows. If they fail, everything fails. Badji grips his sword tighter, not because he believes he can win, but because he knows. He doesn't have to. He only has to hold. A little longer then. Through the noise of battle, through the screams, through the clash of steel, Badji hears something. Or perhaps he only imagines it. He freezes, listens, nothing. The battle continues. But somewhere beyond these mountains, one fortress is preparing to fire a cannon. The signal that will decide whether this sacrifice meant anything at all. He slowly closes his eyes. Sometimes, the loudest sound in history is the one a dying man is waiting to hear. Every battle eventually reaches a point where the body can no longer obey the mind. This battle had reached that point long ago, yet somehow they were still standing. Baji's breathing had become heavy. His armor was torn. Blood covered his hands. His shield had long since shattered, still. His sword remained in his grip. He wasn't fighting for victory anymore. He wasn't even fighting for survival. He was fighting for a sound. One sound. One promise. Before leaving, Shivaji had said only this: "When I reach Vishalgad safely, the fortress cannons will fire. Hold this pass until you hear them." That promise had become stronger than pain. But what if the cannons never came? What if Vishalgad had already fallen? What if Shivaji had never reached the fortress? Every passing minute made that fear harder to ignore. One final charge. Some heroes fight because they believe they will survive. Others fight because they know they won't. And somehow, that makes them unstoppable. The final clash began. The cannon steel crashed. Voices disappeared into chaos. The world became noise, then. For the first time all day, Baji stopped fighting. Not because the battle had ended. Because he thought. He heard something, silence. Just for a heartbeat. Far away. Beyond the mountains. Beyond the rains. Beyond the smoke, boom. One cannon. The mountain echoed, then another boom. The signal. Shivaji had reached Vishalgad. The mission was complete. Baji slowly closed his eyes. Not in defeat, in peace. The promise had been kept. He looked once more toward the distant mountains. Then, his sword slipped from his hand. The warrior who had held back an army finally allowed himself to rest. The legacy history remembers the kings who build kingdoms. But kingdoms are often built upon sacrifices. Most people never learn. Baji Prabhu Deshpande never wore a crown. He never asked for glory. He never expected songs to be written about him. He simply believed that some lives are worth giving, so that millions yet unborn may inherit hope. The mountain pass where he fought would no longer be remembered only for battle. It came to be known as Pavankind, the sacred pass. Not because the ground itself was sacred, but because of the sacrifice made upon it. And Shivaji, he reached Vishalgad safely. The Maratha movement survived. In the years that followed, it grew stronger, reshaping the history of Western India and leaving a lasting mark on the subcontinent. Every empire has a forgotten guardian,